Hey there, everybody. Happy Father's Day, guys. And ladies who have an amazing man that is their baby's dad and stuff. And even the ones who don't have the amazing men out there, you know. Today is a very rainy Sunday here in Texas. And before I dart in my house, hopefully the storm doesn't come down too hard. But no, hey afternoon, guys. Afternoon, Addison, Mike, Richard. So I just wanted to jump on and I wanted to talk. I thought this is a perfect day to discuss the divine masculine because it's Father's Day. And, you know, I have had my share of relationships, and I have 7 children, 5 with a man that we were married for over 20 years, and then my youngest 2 with a man that we were together for close to 7 years. So we have a 4 and a 6-year-old together, and I was dropping my youngest 2 off at Dad's house. And, you know, we've had our share of stuff happen, right? And I'm not going down that negative path of all that. But then I also, you know, through the course of time, you'll hear me talk about these different men that I've dated, that I've called into my life, that I've had relationship with and everything. And I was just thinking about the divine masculine. And when I say divine masculine, I'm not talking about, you know, we hear a lot of talk about, you know, powerful men, kinghood, you know, just really being in your masculine energy and stuff. And the whole thing that I have noticed over the course of time in my career of being a relationship and sex coach over the last 10, 12 years, and then moving into entrepreneurship and helping people find their purpose and everything, a lot of my students, clients are men. And those men that come to me and work with me are typically wanting to find their power again, are wanting to really tap into who they are and, you know, be that divine masculine that is on purpose, that is passionate, that is confident, that is, you know, secure in who he is, and not trying to be this cocky, egotistical, you know, dog eat dog person who's stuck in his ego and everything, or is condemning of any which way, but truly understands the power that he holds within his body as a human being. And it's a beautiful thing to witness when a man can really rise up in himself and step into who he is and understand that he is, number one, a spiritual being living out this very earthly, very human experience that no matter what our sex is, that we are all here experiencing, right, in these physical bodies. But then number 2, to still be able to grasp that emotion plays such a significant role in his life. You know, the other day I was meeting with a man who is a father, and he was sharing with me how much fatherhood has changed him. He was telling me about how, you know, in his early days that he was, you know, he was off and he was chasing skirts and he was enjoying his singlehood life, and he was enjoying really being more of that player mentality and that player guy out there. And then he ended up being a dad, and becoming a father really tapped him into all these other areas of his being. It really opened him up to his compassion, to his heart, to new ways of looking at things, to really having empathy for lots of different stuff. And get this, ladies, you're gonna love this. This guy, he's like, so much gratitude goes out to the women out there who are the nurturers, who are the caregivers. He's like, you know, as men are not really truly built for that. Some of us get put into these roles of being single dad and having to fill the role of mom and dad, but we're really not built for that. And here's the thing. Men aren't. Men are not normally the more nurturing, the compassionate, the understanding of emotion. That is more of a female line of energy, and that's where our strength as women come in. But when a man steps into that role and softens himself and really truly surrenders and kind of like taps into that, we'll just call it the feminine aspect, because we are all masculine and feminine. It's just a matter of how much rain is really coming down, is it not? I bet you guys are just hearing like boom, 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 boom. But it's like, it's really, really coming down. So, but when a man steps into that role of being a softer version of masculine and being able to tap into that nurturing spirit, you know, what happens there is that he blossoms in so many other ways, because that same man that maybe a child brings out in him, but it changes him forever as a man if he really allows it to. It really lets men really step into this softer, more vulnerable area of their heart and their whole life being, that they can connect differently with the women in their life, with their family, with their friends, even at work, to be able to see things from a different viewpoint. And I think that that is one of the core ingredients to divine masculine energy, is that there is compassion there, and there is understanding. It's not just this fierceness, but it is, Kendall's gonna float away. I might float away. I may float away. It was dry when I pulled in, and now it's not dry. It's not dry. I should show you guys. I should. I'm scared to roll down my window though, so I'm not going to do it. But it's crazy wet out here all of a sudden. Alright, so back to divine masculine. When the divine masculine really truly opens up to this softer version of self, it allows for this beautiful love experience to happen because it overtakes them. And much like what as women experience when we fall in love, when we first have a baby and we're holding that baby in our arms and we're looking down at this little angel that our bodies have created and everything, well, guys can tap in and experience a similar energy around things by really stepping into that fatherhood role. And it's not the fatherhood role of being the overly strong and the emotionless and the disconnected and authoritarian, you know, like not that, but to actually let themselves go, wow, I'm a dad. Wow, I'm feeling things that maybe I'm not comfortable with feeling. Maybe I've never gone here before, but this little person is pulling it out in me. And when a man lets that happen, he opens up this softness in his whole spirit that everybody in his life can then witness and feel and experience. And it allows him to communicate differently, to connect differently, to hold space differently, and to love differently. And here's the thing, when we learn how to love just a little bit differently from that softer realm, we gain so much power. We really, really do, because it opens us up to what love truly is, that unconditional, beautiful state of being. And without all the judgments, without all the criticisms, the holdbacks, the things that we tend to get caught up on because we're scared of losing love, or we're scared of being too soft, because, you know, we get that with those words. Like when I say vulnerability, a lot of times people go, I'm not weak. No, vulnerability is not about weakness. Vulnerability is about strength. And it is really about knowing yourself all the more. So when we really tap into vulnerability, masculine or feminine, when we tap into that and we tap into those softer spaces, we actually open up our heart centers. The divine masculine is a masculine that can move throughout all aspects of self, so can really embrace the mental, embrace the spiritual, embrace the heart, embrace the sex, embrace the physical as well, and have it all merge together to create this beautiful package, you could say, of what a true man really is. And a true man is comfortable in his own skin, is not cocky but is confident, can, you know, be serious but is not afraid to be humorous and playful, can, you know, set the tone and set boundaries and lead, but also be passionate, because true passionate people are leaders as well. So to be passionate, to be a funny, to, you know, to know where those boundaries are and be able to move within them and not be scared to move within them. So not that rigidness, that movement, a little bit of fluid movement, kind of like all the rain that's coming down right now here in Texas, right? Like in the Dallas area, like we're gonna flood. But that fluidness of everything. Hey, Byron. In Dallas too. I bet are you getting rain the way we are here in Plano? Because in Plano we are flooding. So yeah, so to really move through those emotions and be able to like do this dance within self, guess what? That also shows this beautiful confidence and love of self, acceptance of self. A lot of men, I find in today's world, the way men have been raised, we have raised this society of guys who are, oh my gosh, this weather. We have raised this society of men that are really nervous about being men. You know, it's like, I swear, as a woman, I stop and I say thank you, and I smile with like my eyes and my whole face, and I was like, thank you. When a guy opens a door for me or holds a door and doesn't just slam it in my face, because, you know, it's not about courting, it's not about any of that kind of stuff. It's about being a gentleman, right? And like, I hold doors open even for other people all the time. That's not necessarily even a masculine thing. It's about just being compassionate and open and present to our fellow human beings around us. And really, when we step into that sensation, it is about that connection that we're getting when we are communicating at that very intimate level with somebody, even if it's a completely random stranger that we're passing through the doorway at a grocery store. But we have raised a society where a lot of men are scared to give compliments. They're scared to hold open doors. They're scared to, you know, walk a woman to her car on a date. I've heard about guys walking out and being like, where are you parked? And, you know, the woman says, I'm parked over there. And he's like, okay, and hugs and kisses her right there wherever they're at and doesn't take her to her car. What is that about, you know? It's like, but that is happening more and more. A lot of men in our culture don't even know how to relate from that masculine level, because we're making such fierce statements about the masculine being bad. We're like condemning the masculine for wanting to lead, for wanting to be powerful, for, you know, having masculine energy at all. And it's so bad for both energies, the feminine energy and the masculine energy. It's polarities, and to be in alignment to that polarity that you naturally feel inside of you. And here's the thing, some women are more masculine than feminine. Some men are more feminine than masculine. This is not about the genitals that you carry with you, that you were born with. This is, or that you wish that you had. This is about the energy that you just naturally pull out. Like, there are a lot softer masculines. There are a lot harsher masculines. Whichever is most in alignment to who you really are, that makes you feel good. Key makes you feel good. And good not meaning I'm powerful, I'm conquering, I'm controlling. No, good feeling like I really am tapped into who I am, and I can, like, this is the space that I can really share my love, I can share my heart, I can share my purpose. I feel very present in and direct in. And direct meaning my guidance system, like your GPS. Like, what does your internal GPS, your soul, your heart, your core really lead you to want to be like? And a lot of the times, men in our world, I'm seeing, just are all over the place. They're wishy-washy, wavering all over, and they don't know who they are anymore. And you know what? Us women out there who are strong go-getters, who have, you know, are raising kids or building businesses and doing all these different things, we don't want wishy-washy men. We don't want guys who, thunder and lightning now, do you guys hear that? We don't want men who don't know what side is up. We're women, we got enough of our own hormonal ups and downs going on. The last thing we need is a guy that doesn't know how to be a man, that's a little boy stuck in a man's body, that's doing different stuff, that, you know, it's like, well, I've got this big of a package, you know, this is what you got in your pants is not who you are, okay? And if you are a man that thinks that the size of whatever is going on in your pants makes you a man, or is what the women are looking for, you are so not a man, and you're definitely not in your divine masculine. Because women who are out there and successful and blowing and going and creating and doing all these different things, we're looking for men who are confident in themselves, who understand that they have so much more to bring to the table than what's going on in their pants. Okay, it's more than what's going on in your bank account. It's more than how big you are. It's more than, you know, all this different stuff that guys get caught up on. We don't care about that stuff. We care about where your heart is and what your direction and your passion and your purpose is. Show me a man that's present. Show me a man that's passionate. Show me a man that is, you know, can make me laugh. Show me a man that is extremely like connected and can communicate what he is feeling in his body and in his mind and in his heart without just shutting down. I don't want this rigid guy that I don't know where I'm at, you know, with him. Like, I can't feel him. No, that's not what's going on at all. And at the same time, I don't want a guy that I have to babysit, that I have to raise. Okay, that's that wishy-washiness. A lot of men today need to still be raised because they were never raised. Sorry, guys. And a lot of other guys are like, well, I don't know what to do with this because nobody explained anything to me, so I don't know how to deal with my heart. I don't know how to deal with any of the stuff that's going on, so I'm going to just shut down. I'm going to just cover myself in this massive amount of armor, and everybody just needs to believe me for exactly what comes out of my mouth, even though you can't feel me. Now, as a man, realize that your power is in how you are showing up, and that's that divine masculine as to how you choose to show up. What is that energy that you bring to the table, not what's going on in your pants. Show up in whatever energy you need to show up in, as true to yourself as possible, unapologetic, authentic, you know, in integrity with your heart and your soul, and really focus in on who you are. And the truth of the matter is that the men who do that line themselves up for so many beautiful opportunities. Not only do they line themselves up for powerful, dynamic women and, you know, beautiful relationships, but they also line themselves up for beautiful life experiences. Everywhere from being able to call in the finances that they want, to being able to go and do the things that they want in their life and everything, to be able to get the promotions, to build the businesses. They also are very commanding of their bodies and of their presence level, because when you are present with your body, you're probably not going to accept certain things from your body. So you're not going to just lounge around on the couch all day or just say, yeah, I'm totally cool with not doing anything. Right? You're going to want to be on purpose. You're going to want to feel successful in every area of your life, which means that there is direction, there's leadership, there's guidance. That is that masculine energy that is coming in with you. And that divine masculine knows what it wants, is willing to focus in on what it wants, be present for a long enough haul, do the work, take whatever, you know, needs to be changed, change it to better themselves, not to get the girl, not to get the money, but because it feels good to be the best you can be, to be on purpose, to be present with self, to be strong in self, and not to be this like, oh, well, I'll eat this way because I'm dating this chick, or I'll say that I want to go here because I'm dating this chick, or I'll back down my sexual, you know, desire over here because I'm dating this chick, or I'll increase it over here because I'm dating this chick. Like, it doesn't, none of that. If you pay attention to, and I'm really speaking to the guys here, pay attention to what you do and how you waver with the women that come into your life. And notice if you notice any wavering in other areas of your life, because that wavering with women, you're going to find similar wavering around your cash, around your job, around your health, around everything. And if you're getting too much influence from those outside sources, it really says that you as a man are not fully lined up to who you are at your core. And it's time to do some work to define and find that divine masculine that you're always meant to be, and that is unique to your own individual personality, life, desires, all that kind of stuff. But of course, it's going to come back to doing the internal work, doing the mindset work, doing the creative work, you know, and learning about yourself, like really truly getting in there and learning about who you are as a man. So yeah, so as I'm sitting here on this now very, very rainy Father's Day, I was just thinking back through different guys that I've done a lot of work with, and the men that have crossed my path down to the man that is in my life currently. And, you know, just the things that I have learned from the divine masculine in multiple ways, good and bad. But the one thing that I can tell you is that the ones that hold a precious space in my heart as a woman that have been able to lead me in different ways were tapped into their heart and could express what they were feeling, what they wanted, and were not afraid to lead. Were not afraid to take control of the situation and let their masculine energy be that guiding post. And when I say lead, I don't mean control. I mean like true leadership, like lead with guidance from your heart, lean in, you know, compassion, heart-centered, but strong, and not being afraid to say, yes, this is what I want, or no, that's not what I want. Not in a commanding control fashion, but just in a clear, human, focused way, one human being to another. Hey, this is where my boundaries are. This is what my desires are. This is where my heart is. And being okay with getting somebody else's authentic yes or no back. That's another ticket to that, is that you've got to be okay with receiving whatever another person's answer is. And I know that that's one of those things that a lot of our world today teaches men. It's this wishy-washy that guys get into, and a lot of guys will be very reactive out of fear of getting rejection, so they try to do something so that they're not getting rejected, and that just shows weakness. That's not a leadership characteristic. That's not a characteristic that makes that builds respect or trust. Okay? And for us women out there who are looking for men, we want our man to be trustworthy. We want him to be strong in who he is, on purpose and present, and we need to be able to respect him as a man and as a human being, as our partner. And if you are all over the place in fear of rejection and in fear of what somebody else is thinking and feeling and all that stuff, well, guess what? You're not trustworthy, and there's not going to be a whole lot of respect coming there. Okay, so there you go. I guess that's it. You're going to see some notes in the comment section here, and I want to just bring up that, you know, it's really, really important to allow for the polarities to happen. And I think that our world, I was just talking to my 19-year-old son just a couple days ago, and he was telling me about different laws that are getting passed around the world and everything. He's like my CNN, you know, he just fills me in on all this stuff because he stays up on all these different laws and governmental things around the world. He was telling me about, I don't remember where, but he was telling me about this law that's getting passed, and he's like, Mom, if we were living in whatever country it was, he was like, if we were living in this country, you could not, I need a sip of water, after such and such a date, you can post a picture of me and you and saying, this is my son and I. You would have to say, this is my child and I, because you don't have a right to make a claim on my sex anymore. I can choose to be whatever I want, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, so what you're telling me is that it's going to be illegal for moms to do like mother and son dates, or mother and daughter dates, or, you know, like, or sister dates, or what have you. He's like, yeah, our sex is not going to matter anymore. We're supposed to just blah, blah, blah. And I'm going, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm going to piss off some people and lose some people on here. But the reality is that no matter what genitals you have, you were born a male or a female. Now, if you have this desire to be the opposite, then go be the opposite. But to make it illegal for people to post pictures of themselves with their children and naming their children as their son or their daughter, that's just, I'm sorry, I don't get it. I don't know. It just leads to this wishy-washy of energies and everything getting melded together and nobody knowing what way is up anymore and no directional sense. And I'm not saying that, like, I have two very, very boys who love to play with babies, and their favorite colors are pink and purple, and they love their unicorn and mermaid bath balls, and shit, my 4-year-old wants to dress up as Ella from Frozen for Halloween, but he is like the biggest little warrior kid on the planet. He is so masculine in so many different things, but at the same time he has this softness about him, this feminine energy, and it's just supporting both and letting him just grow up to be the man that he is going to be, not forcing on him any particular way. And I go and I have mother-son dates with my boys too, and we go and I'm like, what do you want to do? And sometimes they're like, let's go paint our fingernails and toenails, and other times they're like, let's go to the Lego store and build stuff, and then sometimes they want to kill stuff on a video game. It's just allowing that little soul to grow up in the body that it's chosen, however it chooses to expand and grow. The control on, the dictatorship of you don't get to post pictures with your son and call him your son. All right, whatever. I don't know where I was going with that. It's just I'm looking out at the way our world is developing, and some of it just kind of makes me just go, and well, I guess it's building me more business. I should probably be grateful because, I have like all these clients coming to me in the near future because they're not going to know who they are all the more. And then for all of us coaches out there who are trying to help lead people back to who they are and really step into themselves, well, our business is kind of getting created for us, isn't it? Because that's exactly what we end up doing. We have a lost society, world society of people that really truly just don't know anything about themselves anymore, and it's because we are being told that being lost is the way to be instead of tapping into self, and it's more about denying self the entire way instead of saying, no, this is really what I feel. I don't know. It's crazy. Yay, the rain is stopping. I talked long enough for the rain to stop. So, okay, you guys probably got far more of my opinions than what you needed on this very rainy Texas Father's Day, and I hope that somebody has a whole bunch of sun out there. But I just wanted to kind of touch base with you guys, give you guys that the focus on the masculine and some of the things, that myself as a coach that I see with men, and that I can, just speaking for a large majority of women out there that we are looking for and everything. And also to say, happy Father's Day to all of you dads out there who are doing it, who are, I hate to use the word sacrifice, but there's a sacrifice for any parent, but who are really stepping into being a true father, stepping into opening up your hearts and connecting with your children and connecting with those softer energies and really embracing those leadership roles and understanding that you are a guiding light to not just your children, but to other children in the world as well. So the more you are an amazing man, I send out so much gratitude for all the amazing men out there who really put the time, the effort, and the focus in on being those guys. Thank you all of you, and happy Father's Day. I'm not going to make any announcements there. I mean, there's a link to my free consults, which are good until July 4th in the comment section, but that's all I'm going to announce for today. I'm going to go and enjoy my guy for a little bit on Father's Day and wish all of you a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. I will catch you tomorrow with another Conscious Coffee. As always, stop existing, start living. You can follow me at www.kendalwilliams.com, and I will see you guys tomorrow.